Welcome to Conscious Wellness with Lori Ellis. Hi, I'm Lori, your host. This is the show where we dig deep. We rise above the noise, clear the clutter, and find out what really works. The positive, effective, and sustainable ways to create a healthier, happier, and stronger life. And I'm so excited to bring you this episode because I know you'll find value that you can apply today. And if you haven't yet, please click on the subscribe button. Please rate and review. Thank you so much, and I'll see you inside the episode. This is the very first episode of Conscious Wellness. Hi, I'm Lori Ellis. I'm so excited you're here and on this adventure and journey with me toward better wellness. So why do we even want to talk about this? And why is this so important? Because here's the truth. We're not going to be able to show up out there in this big, amazing life the way that we can, the way that we want to, and the way that we came here to show up if we're not taking care of our wellness. And if we don't feel healthy and we don't feel strong and we don't feel happy or energetic, you know what it's like when you have those days. But life is supposed to be fun. We came here to experience and to grow and to learn and become stronger and share our gifts and share our own unique talents and our purpose and passion with this world. And it's supposed to be full of joy and excitement and generosity. And there's so many things out there for you to do and things for you to give and places for you to go. And life is just way too precious to not be able to show up for all of it. So we're going to talk about that some more. And in this first episode, I'll be sharing with you more of what this podcast is about and who I am and what happened in my life that made me so very passionate about this. You know, every time I have a conversation with somebody about this topic, I always think to myself, oh, I wish that was recorded. I wish more people heard that discussion. This is one of the reasons I started the podcast, so we can have the conversations and we can dig out the root causes of what's not working and what's keeping people stuck and what are those barriers that are keeping them from truly living their highest vision of their life in all areas of their wellness. And instead of focusing on negatives, we're going to focus on the solutions, and we can focus on the changes, the positive changes that can be made to create a whole new life, that dream life. And that's what conscious wellness means. It's the awareness of our lives. It's being present in what's happening now. It's the clarity that allows us to see the change that needs to be made and gives us the opportunity to make a decision. It's the impetus. It's the catalyst. And unless we have that awareness about where we are and what's happening and what isn't working, then we're not going to be able to make that new decision and take those steps toward a healthier life and a stronger life. Okay, so let me introduce myself for those that don't know me. I'm a mom and a grandmother. I'm a business owner. I've been a fitness instructor and fitness trainer and wellness lifestyle consultant for almost 2 decades. I work with clients individually and I work with groups and I teach classes and I have an awesome online community. And I've worked with corporations and helped with their wellness departments. And I've written a book and published a book about this as well. And I absolutely love this topic. Wellness is a very comprehensive topic. It involves every aspect of our lives. And we often think of it in terms of just our physical health and our fitness, but it's so much more than that. It's also our thoughts and our beliefs. And it's about the habits and routines that result from how we think. And what we believe determines the actions we take every single day. So it's important to pay attention to our thoughts that create those beliefs. And it's how we feel about ourselves. It's what we think is possible and what we think we're worth. Wellness also includes our emotional and our mental health and our relationships and how we view the world. And it's also about our financial wellness and what we believe about wealth and abundance and generosity. And conscious wellness also means being aware of our environment around us, the things we allow in our homes and our offices. It's about the products we use. It's about what we eat and drink. And it's about what we're putting on our skin and how those things are sourced and how they're treated. And are they full of chemicals and toxins? And what are those toxins doing to us? And how are our choices affecting the environment around us and affecting the animals and the planet too? Each of these are subjects to pay attention to and to be aware of and to talk about because it all has a major impact on our health and on our life and the quality of our life and our longevity, and it all matters. It's taking the time to evaluate and to have awareness and condition yourself to live in a conscious state regarding every aspect of your life, being aware of where you are versus where you want to be, and creating the new thoughts that you want to think based on how you want to feel and how you want to live. This is going to change the actions that you take because you're going to feel differently about your life. When you think about how you want to live and how you want to feel, you'll feel differently about your body. And that allows you to want to learn more. And in that new knowledge, we're able then to make different decisions and better choices. And this creates new habits and a whole new lifestyle. Our habits are just the things that we do over and over, and it becomes a routine simply because they're deeply ingrained in our subconscious, and we do them a lot of times without actively thinking about them. But if they're not producing the result that we want, then it doesn't make sense to continue to do those things. And yet we see that in people's lives. We see people continue the same cycles of things that don't work. We see them doing the same things, even though it's not giving them the result and the life and the health that they want. And I actually remember living that way all those years ago, which I'll tell you about. I remember doing the same things every day without even considering anything else because it's the way things had been done and I wasn't aware that things could be different or better. You know, I've read that most people are living 95% of their days from a subconscious programming, like a software program running in the background. And this means only 5% of a person's day is living intentionally aware and intentionally conscious in the present moment. So this means the past just keeps repeating itself, and nothing changes if we don't change. And if it's a road of decline, a road of sickness, if it's not taking care of the body, not being aware of how to improve our relationships or our self-talk or our finances and our fitness and our strength, then it's really not the road we want to keep taking. So here's the question, the very important question. What can we do within ourselves to become the person that we need to be in order to live that higher version of life in every area of wellness that we're wanting to improve? It all starts with our thoughts. And I also read recently that we have between 60,000 and 80,000 thoughts a day, and most of them are repetitive. So our thoughts are either subconscious thoughts or conscious thoughts, and we have the ability, and that's the good news, we have the ability and the opportunity to create new thoughts. And this allows us then to make new decisions and take different actions. Because the way we think and what we believe about ourselves and what we believe is possible, this is what determines the actions that we take or we don't take. And this is really exciting because it means we can intentionally think about how we want to feel and how we want to live and how we want to grow older. And we can actually choose how we will live 20 years from now and 30 years from now based on what we do today. You know, we live in an age of so much information and so much technology, and yet society and the world is actually becoming sicker. And yes, people are living longer, but not necessarily living healthier. And there's so much stress, there's so much busyness and so much hurrying, and people just rushing through the motions of every day in the same routine, distracted. And that stress actually creates acid in the body, which contributes to inflammation. And so many are living in a state of constant fight or flight, and the stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline are rushing through their veins and running their lives. And if they're dealing with a chronic illness or side effects from medications or a scary diagnosis or surgeries and recoveries and more medications and side effects, then that adds even more stress, which creates even more acidity, leading to even more inflammation. And it's a vicious cycle. And all of this can not only impact our physical health, but also our emotional and mental health and our relationships and even our finances. So wellness is this big picture full of many different puzzle pieces, and all of these pieces that are in place, some of them don't belong. So we can dig out the ones that we don't want there, dig out the root causes and the ones that aren't working, and we can replace them with healthier things, healthier thoughts, healthier beliefs, healthier habits and actions that can all lead to an overall healthier, happier life. So I want to ask you a question now. What does the vision of your dream life look like? What does it feel like? If you were living your highest vision of wellness in every area of your life, what would you be doing? Who would you be doing this with? And where would you be? And how would you be spending your days? How would you live when you're free of pain, when you feel strong, when you feel able and capable, and you're not distracted by symptoms? Because when you feel happy and free and purposeful and fulfilled and generous, and you have the time and the energy to do the things you enjoy and give the way you want to give, then you're truly aware and in each moment. Okay, so let's be real here. There's so much conflicting information out there, and it's overwhelming and it's frustrating. And so this is the show where we're going to be talking about all of this and clearing away the noise and getting to the simple solutions. And we're going to talk about what works, and we're going to talk to people that have been there. We're going to discuss with people that have created beautiful wellness in every area of their lives, how they've overcome the challenges and obstacles, and how they've been able to eliminate the root causes, move forward, and live the life of their dreams. And this is an ongoing process throughout our whole lives, which is why we call it a journey. And I called it an adventure in the beginning because it really is fun. So let's redefine it as an opportunity every day to be aware and to make new decisions and create new habits for the life that we want. And I'm here to tell you it is fun to get older. Aging doesn't have to be scary, and it's not supposed to be a road of decline. It's not supposed to be a road to suffering, pain, diseases, and losing our ability to be active and enjoy life. Aging should be and can be full of activity and energy and vitality and continued improvement. And in my experience, it is. But we're conditioned to expect certain things to happen as we age. We're conditioned to think and feel like our genetics will take over and that we don't have choices. And people are conditioned to ignore their wellness and ignore their health until a symptom shows up before they even start paying attention. And that's living reactively. And that's just a recipe for disaster. Because unless people are conscious and aware and proactively living healthier today and having fun with being good to their bodies and reconnecting to the health of their bodies, then they will likely sadly pay a price later on in the future in the form of some kind of symptom or disease. This is something I help people with every single day. And the reason I know it works is because this is what worked for me. It's how I completely changed my health, my life, and my body and my future 24 years ago. And as I'm recording this episode, I am 57 years of age. And I like to say I'm 57 years young and I'm 57 years strong. Because I am stronger and healthier, and I feel more vibrant and more energetic and happier and more driven and more excited and hopeful and purposeful than ever in my life. But it wasn't always this way. I remember all those years ago what it felt like to not feel well. And I remember all the time and energy it took from my life and how it affected my family too. And I remember what it felt like to not feel strong, and that's not a good feeling. And it's much of the reason I started this podcast, to continue to share and do what I knew was my calling and what I knew I felt led to do 24 years ago when my own life story changed. And when I had my own moment of awareness and total clarity of the fact that what I was doing was not working and the way I was living was not the way I wanted to live, and I wasn't healthy. When I was in my 20s and early 30s, I struggled with an inflammatory condition for many years, and I had all kinds of symptoms, and it went undiagnosed. I was doing all these things, and I had these medications that didn't work, and some of them actually made things worse. I had abdominal pain and back pain and headaches and insomnia and hormone imbalances and lots of fatigue and weight issues and digestive problems and skin issues. And in the year 2000, I was diagnosed with a mass on one of my ovaries, and thankfully it was benign. And the surgeon said the tumor was too large to remove laparoscopically, so it became a major surgery, and it was removed, and then I was sent home to recover with my two sweet little kids at home at the time. And after recovering and healing from the surgery, I went back to my life as a mom, and I also ran a business from home. But shortly after, all the symptoms came back. So the next year I had an exploratory surgery. And because of what the surgeon found, it turned into another major operation that resulted in a radical complete hysterectomy. And back in those days, that happened through an abdominal incision. So I was cut open again for the second time in 2 years. And I remember waking up in the recovery room after that second operation with the surgeon telling me he couldn't save anything and he had to perform a full hysterectomy. And I remember crying, and I remember being in a lot of pain, but I wasn't crying so much from the pain. I remember crying because I knew in that moment that the two surgeries and all the other things that had been tried and the different medications and everything I'd been through still hadn't taken care of the root cause of why I became sick. And I knew in that moment that not only did I still have the issue that caused the endometriosis, but then I realized I also had another serious problem then too, which was full menopause at the young age of 33. And that was 24 years ago. And I still remember vividly when I felt that full consciousness of what had happened. And I knew I didn't want to keep going down that road because it wasn't working and it wasn't how I wanted to live. And I remember feeling suddenly hopeful and knowing I wasn't going to keep doing what I was doing. And I felt a very strong knowing that my life was going to be different. I felt as if I'd received a divine message and I was being told to go recover again and then go seek an education and learn everything I could about how to help my body heal and how to get well and strong and completely change the course of my life and my future for the better. And I also felt that I was supposed to help others to learn what I was learning. While I was learning everything I could about helping my own body heal, I was going to be teaching others how to help themselves too. And I felt so excited. I felt so eager to go back and step into this new journey without knowing what I was going to do or how I was going to learn this. But that wasn't important in that moment to me because the purpose and the passion was just enveloping me with excitement, and I knew the steps would show up. I knew I was being called to learn everything I can about this body, the vehicle that houses my soul and allows my soul to walk this planet, to connect to this body and be good to this body that allowed me to carry two beautiful babies and give birth to two amazing humans who are now grown adults living their own wonderful lives. And now I'm a grandmother. And so this body that allowed all of these things to happen, I realized in that moment that I wanted to know how to be good to this wonderful vehicle, this miraculous creation that did all these things. And this beautiful body that healed in spite of everything that it had been through and everything that it had been trying to manage with the symptoms and all of the other things that went on, and how it did its best to keep me going and keep me caring for my family and working and doing all the things that we all do every single day. And this body that kept showing up for me the best that it could and managing everything in spite of what it was going through and the challenges. And I realized in this new awareness that I needed to learn what my body needed, what it wanted, and what could provide it the very best so that it could be its healthiest. And that's exactly what I did. So I went home for the second time in 2 years with staples and stitches and another 6-week recovery with no lifting and no driving and still being a mom to two sweet little amazing kiddos. And this was before the internet was much of a thing. We had just gotten a computer at that point, but we certainly didn't have access to all the information right at our fingertips like we do today. So I went to the library and I checked out all the books I could find about wellness and healing and inflammation and hormones and nutrition and health and wellness. And I read and I studied. And then when I was recovered from the surgery, I enrolled myself back in school and I took some university courses again. And then I felt led to find what we call alternative information and alternative education about healing and health. I enrolled in courses in this holistic center, which was a wellness center and also an education center and a clinic setting. And my instructors were the physicians who worked with the clients and the patients that came to the center from all over the world. And these doctors had both the traditional education and knowledge as well as what we refer to as alternative education in health and prevention and wellness. And the care was structured for treating and healing the whole person and the whole life, including nutrition and hydration, movement, mindset, faith and spirituality, and the mind-body-soul connection. And as a student wanting to learn all of this, I was exactly where I wanted to be. It was the answer to my prayer, and I listened to these lectures that I never wanted to end. It was so fascinating and inspiring, and I was learning the body systems again, just like I had in the university anatomy and physiology class, but I was learning the systems like the circulatory system, detox system, immune system, the musculature, digestion, and all of these functions of the body, but I was learning them from a whole new perspective, from a healing perspective and from a prevention perspective. And then continuing as a student there, I enrolled in the personal training program in the gym, and I was learning fitness training, and I was experiencing working out in the gym for the first time ever in my life. And I fell in love with the gym and connecting to my body in that way and feeling my body getting stronger. And then I started studying Pilates, and I became an instructor. I received my certifications, and I started teaching classes at the local gym. And then I started training clients in fitness and strength, all while I continued on my own wellness and fitness and healing journey too. And it was incredible. And I was doing exactly what I felt like I was led to do, and helping other people to help themselves get better and improve their wellness in every area as well. And that's what I've been doing over the past 2 decades. And in this time, I've combined the core strengthening with strength training and functional strength training. And I've developed my own method that's so effective and so fun, and it brings results, and it helps the body to get stronger in a healthy way from the inside out by strengthening the deep core primary muscles to support the spine and protect the spine, give us that powerhouse energy, that core awareness and core strength, and all the benefits. There are so many of improved core strength, including overall strength, building muscle, improving metabolism, having better balance, better center of gravity, better posture, all of these amazing benefits. And it's how I train my own body, and it's how I continue to strengthen my body. And I call my method Core Stabilized Functional Strength, and it's how I've trained my clients for many years too. And it's what I do for myself, and it's how I work out. And it's so effective, and it's fun. And now, 24 years later, I still love every aspect of improving wellness and taking the time to give the body what it needs and to feel healthier and stronger as we continue to get older. And that journey, that whole experience, it's a true gift in my life. It became my passion and my purpose. And it's what I've been doing ever since I had that moment of clarity in the recovery room after that second surgery 24 years ago. And I've been teaching others to have that same awareness and to make that powerful decision in their lives to consciously decide to choose better wellness. Look, I don't want you to have to be where I was all those years ago, but if you are struggling, I want you to know you don't have to keep going down that road. I want you to be strong and healthy and feel well and meet your life every day with energy and passion and vitality and purpose. When we feel strong and we feel healthy, we remember that everything is possible. And I want you to know that wellness is available to you. Your body can heal itself. Your body knows how to heal itself. But it's kind of like learning a new language. We've got to understand what the body's saying and how it's working and what it needs. And I truly believe we are all here for so much more. We're not here to just suffer through life. We're not here to drag around a sick body, living with fatigue and pain and declining with age. I don't believe that for a second. And we've got to stop using our energy to make excuses. We've got to stop blaming our genetics and our geography and our financial situation and the people around us and our upbringing. These are all excuses, and it's just another way to live reactively and to avoid doing the very things that will help us create the future that we want. So we've got to let all of that go, and we've got to allow ourselves the clarity. Let me rephrase that. We get to allow ourselves the clarity to look at every area of our lives, and we can ask ourselves these really powerful, important questions. Is this the way I want to live? Is this my highest existence? Do I feel well? Does my body feel well? Is what I'm doing today going to help me to be healthier and stronger in the future, or is it leading down that road of slow decline? These are the questions to ask. And it's not comfortable because sometimes looking at the truth isn't comfortable. But when we change our mindset and we let the old thoughts go and we start thinking the new thoughts of how we want to feel, it changes everything. And then it becomes exciting. And I truly believe that we're all on this planet at this moment in time to learn and experience and grow. And I'm always wanting to learn more. And that's another reason I started this podcast. It's why I'm here. It's why I wake up every single day to continue to learn and share and teach everything that I continue to learn, to experience life and give what I came here to give. And this is what I want for everyone, this absolute awareness of how magnificent this life is and how beautiful it is. And yet so many people are still walking around just unconscious to what's possible. They're distracted. And every day I see it. I see people suffering the way that I did all those years ago with some kind of pain or illness. And I see people struggling to enjoy their life because of the inflammatory issues they're dealing with and the fatigue and the other things. And maybe it's a back injury, maybe it's a knee or a hip, or maybe it's sadly a disease like diabetes or cancer or an autoimmune condition or a chronic pain or joint problems or arthritis. And I really believe most of this suffering can be prevented, and so much of it can be reversed. And the cool part is, every day I get to see people get better too. Because of what I have the opportunity to do every day, I get to see people feel better. I get to see them make positive changes. I get to help them and guide them while they take these positive action steps to change their lives for the better, to get stronger. And I get the joy of watching as they grow into that better strength and that healthier life. I want you to fall back in love with your wellness and your body and your future and your whole life. I want you to be able to squat down and sit on the floor and be able to get back up without needing help. I want you to be able to push yourself up or pull yourself up if you need to. I want you to love your body and feel the miracle that you are. I want you to love giving the cells of your body healthy food, and I want you to feel great with your digestion, and I want you to feel incredible when you put on your clothes and your bathing suit, and I want you to feel good in your clothes and confident, and I want you to feel good and confident out of your clothes. I want you to feel well and strong, and I want you to have great balance and posture and trust your body's ability to move you powerfully through this life. It knows how and it wants to. It just needs to be given the attention and the intention and the right things. I don't want you to be sidetracked with illness or pain or injury. I want you to be focused on your passion and your purpose. I want all of us to be out there in this big world, bringing our absolute best energy into the world. I believe you have a big dream and a message inside of you that deserves to be heard. I truly believe your life has a big purpose, and you have so many things you want to do, so many ways you want to give, ways that you want to help your family. I believe that you have a passion to make the world better in your own way, with your own gifts and talents, and I believe you're here to do that. I really do. But if you don't feel well and you forget to be intentional about your wellness, then you may not be able to do those things. You see, we can't give away what we don't have, and if we don't have energy and health and vitality, we won't have those resources to be able to give in the world. And you might become distracted instead on managing a symptom of a disease or a chronic condition, and that will take away from this amazing life you came here to live. So what do you want to do? Because anything is possible, especially when you feel well and strong and happy and balanced. Do you want to travel and take your friends and family on adventures? Do you want to give back to the world some way through helping animals and helping people? And do you want to start a business or create something new? Everything is possible. And when we feel well and happy and strong, we see that vision bigger and we're able to step into it in a much more confident and powerful way. And I want that for all of us. So thank you for being here. I hope you're as excited as I am about all the wonderful conversations we're going to have and the inspiring and valuable discussions and how we're going to learn together. And I wish you a wonderful day. Have a strong and healthy and happy day. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. I'm so happy you were here for this episode of Conscious Wellness. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And if you like this show and you feel you're receiving valuable information and tools that you can apply to your life today, please share this with a friend. We want everyone to feel excited and intentional about their future. And we want you to get up every day feeling empowered to take positive action steps toward better wellness. If you haven't already, please subscribe and please rate and review. We're so grateful. And send us your questions. Let us know what topics you want to learn more about. You can send a message to info@elliswellness.com or the contact form at elliswellness.com, where you can also sign up for the newsletter. Thank you so much. Now go out there and have an amazing day.